This is a look into some other aspects of the town area on this layout. From this view of the town station, we can see a rather dense area around the gasoline station. We'll check this area out in a moment. A back street branches off from the main street to the left. I chose these odd roadway angles to visually break up the more common rectilinear organization used on model railroad layouts. I believe that it helps to expand the apparent look of things. The back street also begins to curve and wander off around to the right. Once this SP freight passes by, a WP cab hop pulls up on the second track to receive a full crew for some upcoming switching moves. The gasoline station was made from an old Scale Structures Limited kit of an Art Deco era style station that was common in the 1930s. It was the only logical building that could use this triangular shaped area. It faces the old Merchant's Row resin kit that is now available in plastic through Walthers. This kit was built around 1980. All the signs were made with individual rub-off dry transfer lettering sets. By the 1990s, I switched to using Photoshop for signage fabrication. Back to the gasoline station with a view of the men's bathroom. The ladies' room is on the other side. The kit had a flat roof. I shaped a raised roof out of a half-inch thick block of balsa wood. I included roof vents and air conditioning equipment for the office area. You can see how cramped this area is. This post office was a modified Atlas kit of a feed store. I had to swap the sidewalls to get the loading door to the side with the narrow driveway. The white fencing was added to define property boundaries in this packed area. The use of trees gives a more lived-in look to things. The cramped lot size for this home was filled with a very narrow home. It's a laser kit that has more than a reason to have a two-story structure here. The gray home is from an Atlas plastic kit called Barb's Bungalow. This home has a larger lot. Notice the incinerator for burning trash in the backyard. The roof had a front dormer that I removed to simplify the overall look. Neither home has a garage. This was still common back when these homes were built around the second decade of the 20th century. I use bicycles a lot in these scenes. Most in the mid-50s were of the Schwinn, Sears, or Ward's variety. This was the baby boom era when these kids were around 9 or 10. This street crosses a branch line and it curves off to the upper right. To see what's around the bend, use the link in the description below this video. The farmhouse was the oldest home on the block. It was a larger farm until the railroad and the feed mill came into town. Another item is a modified model power kit number 573 called Bob's Hot Dog Stand. This is the backside of the Walnut Creek Station. I didn't have any idea of how this side looked, so I just put 2 pair of windows there. The station's foundation is slightly higher than the sidewalk, so I put a concrete retaining wall there. This station resembles an idealized version of the real station. The real Walnut Creek station was on the Sacramento Northern Line that was owned by the Western Pacific. Across the small town, the SP had its own station. Here's a quick look into our DVD number D124 on the Sacramento Northern of long ago at the station in Walnut Creek.
This westbound slows in front of the Walnut Creek station, and the agent will hand up the train orders to the caboose. Here's a brief look at the station. The earliest settlers called Walnut Creek the Crossroads.
Well, I placed this model in a new setting, that's for sure. I built this model decades ago, and it had to wait a long time to land on this layout. Next to the train order pole is the station's cat. This is how I crafted the back end, lacking any photos of it. The car is owned by the station agent. This is a rough access driveway for LCL freight and sacks of mail. To the right are the footings for an old water tank. Even though it was originally an electric railroad, I couldn't think of anything else to do with this patch of land. Well, it's after sunset, and the cab driver is waiting for an SP local passenger and mail train to arrive. This layout is now a fanciful joint line operation of the WP and the SP. All the passenger cars were from the 1920s era, and they were still on the secondary and commuter trains on the SP even into the late 1950s. We hope you've gained some ideas for your own layout in organizing things in what's nearly always less space than you have available. Stand by for a preview of one of our full-feature model railroad DVDs available on our website. In this presentation, we feature models of the steam to diesel transition era. That would be something like 1955 or so. Our time will mostly be spent outlining building techniques and using various tools and materials that you might be unfamiliar with just yet. In this volume, we will see flat car, box car, and tank car construction. A fruit to reefer car loading complex, a rail bridge, a highway bridge, plus simulating country road pavement. We outline construction techniques for low-cost structures such as an abandoned country store and a railroad section house too. A central theme covers scene planning and repurposing models built over the years before your layout is started. Many of these models shown here would still be appropriate in decades after the 1950s. That is especially true of the structures. Also, many of the techniques are useful in building or altering models in any era. The overarching thinking here is to adapt some less expensive resources into your plans and to build your skill set and expand your tool collection with the money you might save in the process. Whether you are still building models for a future layout or trying to design a layout with models already built, this might help your ideas to crystallize. Look for many other DVD videos on our website covering rail topics of steam, diesel, plus electric interurban and streetcar systems from the past. For From our archive and other resources, we use old film never seen before to create these productions, bringing history and beautiful scenes that you can no longer see. This is the homepage of our website. The numerous videos are on a number of pages, and in most cases, clicking on a DVD cover face will reveal a preview video for viewing. Thank you for watching.